I agree with that.
in terms of median prices, and you're seeing that, I'm sure, in some particular projects. So let's talk about your favorite area of town, downtown. Why don't you give us a quick update on what's going on downtown? I know there's a bunch of towers planned, correct?
There are. I'm a downtown resident. I live right off 12th and Lamar. I walk to about everything that I want to do, Whole Foods. And I think that lifestyle is really becoming more appealing to every type of generational demographic. It's my wife and I are in our 40s. However, we see younger generation, even people who just got the last one into college, if you know what I mean. They're taking over some of these really high-end complexes. I'm seeing it's very common for me to hear a story about a new buyer, a husband and a wife, who just got the last one into college, and they had this huge house sitting on the lake. They sold it for $1 million. They decide they're going to buy a $600,000, $700,000 two-bedroom in one of the towers downtown. They pay cash for it and walk everywhere. It's almost amazing how their lifestyle changes. I jokingly say they drop 20 pounds and start acting like college kids again because they have so much fun. It's like their lifestyle changes. Well, the market's reacting to that right now, Kevin, and how they've reacted to it is in two ways. First of all, there were only so many buildings that were up. And because of that, I was just giving a relocation to the Vice President of Sales of the W Hotel. We went to, as part of my relocation package, I had to take him to every single downtown Austin apartment to kind of give him the full company tour. Basically, here's everything that's available. And what I learned in that was there was only two bedrooms in those downtown apartments in the next 60 days. And the least expensive one was at the Monarch for $3,200 a month. That is a huge, huge marker of what's going on in downtown Austin. I hear the word 98. I'm sorry?
So I was going to ask you, so if somebody's listening to this, tell me what you think the implications are, because we're going to talk a little bit about the pipeline and how long it takes to get things in. If somebody's coming in, and I want to tie this down for people listening, and they're thinking they want to buy or rent downtown now, we'll talk about both of those. What are their challenges?
Well, renting, the challenge is finding anything that's more, it's almost cheaper to buy. Let's just kind of put it that way. First of all, if you're renting and you want a two-bedroom, for the next 60 days, there are two-bedroom units available in the downtown Austin apartment complex scene. Now, there may be some things. Here's some secrets. One of the secrets you can do is working with a realtor who has inside information of the types of properties that are going to become available in less than 60 days. There are some big people out there, myself being one, a couple other reputable companies out there like Platinum Realty and Denise Bodman over at Realty Austin. These are types of people who know what's going on because they either sold something last year or rented something last year, who knows when the timelines of these leases expire, and where you can benefit as a new buyer or a new renter is tapping into that personal database that those people have. I've been really fortunate to be a part of that lifestyle, and I think that you've got to know something more than just what's on the internet at the time. Because frankly, it's what I call a class 9 emergency, and that's where basically everybody's looking. They make at least as much money as you do and maybe have a better credit. Do not let somebody steal you from your home if you're looking for an apartment.
Right.
To react to that, we have the...
And I think it's interesting, Barry, sorry to interrupt you, but what's interesting is now in the middle of all this, I'm seeing people that are downsizing out of suburbia, whether you're in Lakeway or you're in Southwest Austin or anywhere else. They have these big two-story houses, and they decided they want to live downtown lifestyle because there's enough amenities now. And now they're typically cash buyers because they've got houses that are free and clear, their kids are grown, and they're adding more fuel to the fire because they're competing, aren't they?
That's right. And I got to tell you, I'm seeing cash buyers. I haven't seen less than a 20 or 30% down offer in almost a half a year. It's really strong offers, strong buyers, all looking for a very small pool of properties. Like, just kind of give you an idea. If you want a one-bedroom downtown, it's $1,500 if you want to rent it out. If you want to buy a one-bedroom downtown, after your PITI, it's about $1,500. Think about that when you're making your decision. Do you want to buy or do you want to rent? Because I can probably get you in cheaper for buying. Now, I just kind of transitioning on, this whole thing has brought in we talked about timelines a few minutes ago. There are a couple major projects that are announced right now. The one I'm most optimistic about is the Mari's group. They're building a sister property of the 360 condominiums, which is one of the most popular condominiums downtown, which is going to be solely dedicated for rentals right across the street from the Milagro. An absolutely fantastic place in that waterfront district down there. That's going to take 2 years. That's how long it takes to build 20-story property. You just can't move it along faster. It takes a certain amount of time to put concrete up and down. I think when you pop into there, you're going to have 23 stories of about 400 units that come on the market. And let me tell you, that couldn't come on too soon. Another project that's going to be here sooner is the old Star Riverside project. That was one of my largest listings at the time when it was a sale project. It was actually since sold to a company who is going to turn it into apartments. That should be up and running in about a year, and I think that's going to have a price point similar to the Ashton, which is going to be basically a $1,700 one-bedroom, and a two-bedroom penthouse could go for $10,000 there. And they're going to have fabulous views of downtown Austin. Those two are probably the closest to being done. And there are at least 4 or 5 others that are announced that are thinking 2, 3, 4 years away, in addition to the 1,000-plus rooms they're about to add in the motel marketplace.
It is pretty amazing that the amount of velocity, and this is a big difference than what we talked about new construction starts in suburbia. New construction in suburbia, they can throw a phase of a subdivision if the lots are platted and the hard infrastructure is in much faster than you can build a 20-story tower. The entitlement process is completely different.
That's right.
So this is going to keep downtown tight for a while, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. There's a group out of Endeavor that thinks that downtown can absorb over 350,000 square feet of office space over the next couple of years. They're talking about people moving down. Facebook just took a major chunk of office space out of downtown. We have Google, who's down here now. We have a whole bunch of attorneys and lobbyists. Of course, we're a state capital, so there's always that existing business. You had mentioned earlier that the state facilities are coming out down southeast. I think that over the next 5 years, we're going to see a lot of the state organizations move to the east side and become more centralized in like a village environment. And that's even going to create even more robust corporate investment into this area. And I got to tell you, I loved it living down here. My wife has mentioned the last couple of weeks twice on separate occasions that she just loves living down this place. It's